Yo, what's goody, everyone? It's your man NYCDaFuture. Y'all know, man. First time, first thing for everything, man. We got the Online Nation Hangout event. We're gonna try to do this every Mondays. I don't know the precise date yet, but it's looking like Monday nights at 8 p.m. Might be a little later. Just depends. Got to try to get everybody involved at the same time. I mean, but you know how we do, man. Everybody that knows from our other previous podcasts with the Blog Talk Radio and other different platforms. We do this thing every Monday nights at 6 o'clock p.m. Eastern, and just have a great dialogue with everybody, man, with the whole panel, the host, and we just talk about basketball. We talk about video games, and of course NBA 2K18 and NBA Live 18. All right, so of course we got um, co-host DJ Gonzo Star, Lil Spaz 57, and Venom. I think Venom and Spaz will be on shortly. Until then, though, got our main man DJ Gonzo Star. So let me introduce him right now. Gonzo.
What's going on?
What's up with you, bro?
Not much, man. I'm surprised, man. We actually going live on we actually going live on YouTube now, man. Hey, I think it was about time we got to that anyway. I'm excited about it.
I'm very excited, man. To be honest, man. I'm like, you know what, man? Let's try to start off before the year off, man. Right, man. You know, we might have little complications at first in the beginning because we just new to this, but we're gonna have it all straightened out in a couple of weeks, man. Then everything's gonna be on point. So until then, let's just I want to talk about. Well, first I want to give out the shouts like I do every Monday nights. Shout out, of course, to the main man, Desire, SimNation president, of course, how we always do it, man. Yo, he's bringing out fire, of course. If people don't know, he's an NBA 2K dev, but I know him before that. He was making videos for NBA Live, making videos for 2K, and he's actually doing great, man. So a good making great videos, and he does a lot of good plays, and he's just a great developer for 2K as a whole. So definitely follow him, his channel. He's on Twitter, Dejar. He does SimNation Hangouts every Friday nights at 10 p.m. Eastern, I think. I think sometimes it varies, but most of the time it's 10 p.m. Eastern. So I'm definitely look out for that. And of course, SimNation Lady President, Big Mama, what's up? Shouts out to everybody, the host, DJ Gonzo Star, Lil Spaz 57, and Venom. Them two will be on shortly. And of course, shout out to everybody, man, that be following me on Twitter, the Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/OnlineNationGaming. And of course, Twitch. I'll be on Twitch a lot, twitch.tv/NYCDaFuture. We be on there heavy. Y'all see that poster, man, NBA 2K18. It's crazy. I do that for every 2K season, put a new post up on there. You know what I mean? Just something. I just love 2K, man. You know, 2K be trash nowadays, but we can talk about that later on. Of course, everybody, man, I've been following just the whole Online Nation movement. People that have been calling in: Sean, Nick, boy Ale, Marco, my brother Queens Baller, people on Twitter. On Twitch also, man. People that be on heavy Twitch. I forgot his name on Steel Trails. No, not Steel Trails. That's the program group. But I think his name is Trail something. Shouts out to him. Shouts out to I Rep Laker Nation, Rob Davis. So a whole bunch of people, man. I'm just doing off the top real quick, as y'all can see. So yeah, just out to everybody. Shout out to the Kali website, the Battle Rap OTBVA website. And yeah, let's start the show off right. Gonzo, you got any shout outs, bro?
I just want to shout out, man, to want to shout out to Pete Toll and Matt Miller, man, at the Unquestionably Raw podcast. Shout out to James Hollis, Brady Klopper, everybody that's affiliated with Unquestionably Raw. Shout out to everybody, shout out to everybody on the panel: Venom, you, Lil Spaz, Online Nation all day. Shout out to the Czar, Scott OG. Shout out to Sam I Am Books. Shout out to Kushmir. Shout out to Big Kev. Who else want to give a shout out to? I want to give a shout out to I think his name is G Rob B Gaming. I you can check him out on YouTube. He actually has some good, some pretty decent videos. Um, who else I want to give a shout out to? Wow, I might, I might mess around and be a while if I really put everybody down. Shoot, who else videos do I watch a lot of? I'll give a shout out to this dude because he's a live fanatic, and he seems to get into it, just about everybody, but he be making valid points if you really listen to his videos most of the time, in most cases. To Prime. Hey, shout out to Gideon Prime, Truth Chasers, man. Shout out to him. Good content. It's honest. Shout out to Gedden. Shout out to King Havo. Man, wait, somebody else I just had on the tip of my tongue too that do good videos. What's his name? Swaggy P Lino. He's also another good NBA Live brother who makes good quality. Only that he articulates his points very well. You know what I'm saying? He's honest about the game. He's honest about live and the problems it has, but he's also honest about the good parts about it. He's not biased in any way when it comes to 2K or live. He just points out the things that needs to be fixing both. So I give a shout out to him and his content, man. And anybody else that I might have forgotten, please, excuse me. I didn't mean to forget you. It's just, I don't want to be so long. So if I didn't forget, just let me know. Don't charge to my heart, charge to my head.
All right, it sounds good, bro. So with that being said, there's some news for tomorrow that a lot of people that play Pro-Am and stuff, and the NBA 2K, or I think it's called the NBA 2K League. There's gonna be some news dropping 2:00 p.m. Eastern. It's on the Reddit thing, so everybody look out for that. You have any ideas or any expectations about the whole NBA 2K League thing so far?
Me personally, I don't know how this is going to run. I think it's a really, really good idea. I don't know. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot about it. I'm just assuming that however they're going to do it, I'm assuming they're not using. They're not going to use if they're going to use real players on real teams, or they're going to use their creative players and they have like a draft and put them on different NBA teams until they fill out all the rosters across the board. I don't know how that's going to work. I really don't know. Don't give me the laugh. But from a competitive standpoint, I find it hard to compete online when the game isn't fixed properly. Because I would hate for somebody to lose, or they put all their time into this game and they lose on something that's badly animated, or something that's glitchy, or something that just in the game that's broken, and somebody loses off that. Like that would that right there would compromise the integrity of your, I guess, e-league or whatever you're having. I think that would just compromise it all, and too many people would be very, very leery of it. Because right now, even with the play now online, it's one of those things where, and you just hope the other person is playing the type of game that, playing the way that you would play, which is probably simulation style. But you run into a lot of cheaters online and people that just have sit down and manipulated the game and manipulated animations, and they manipulated they know the timing of certain animations, and they know how to use them to their advantage to make them unstoppable. So you'll rack up a loss because somebody knows how to cheat the game. It's not very competitive. You know what I'm saying? I think 2K's biggest problem is that, from just a business standpoint, if you notice, and there's no disrespect to shade to anybody, but it's just 2K kind of reaches out to a bunch of cheesers in the community. No, seriously, like they have a bunch of cheesers community. I mean, they come out to their team ups and play the game and all this stuff here. I understand why they do that, because if you invite a cheeser and he can show you the exploits in the game, you could possibly fix them.
Sure.
But the thing is that a cheeser's not going to tell you what exploits he finds, because he's going to use line, whether it be playground, playing online, whether it be my career. He's going to find these cheeses because, truthfully speaking, he wants to keep the cheese to himself so he can be a winner, or he's probably going to keep the cheese for himself to use it to get more YouTube views and to get more people following him, to get more subscribers, thinking they're leaking something which they will be actually leaking something that's kind of important to help people being successful in the game. They'll be leaking cheese online to up their viewership. You know what I'm saying? Up their subscribers. So I think they need to also bring in these hardcore cheesers. I think you need to even it out and bring in a lot of sim guys, the guys who spot the cheese and point it out. Like, hold on, look, this can become an exploit. This is what might need to be fixed. You might need to fix this here. The biggest problem I think with 2K is that, first of all, I think it's just, I understand people want variety, but it's too many goddamn modes. Like, I think it's just too many modes. Like, I understand everybody wants a variety, but I think the main thing is we can use something like a franchise mode because that's always been there.
Okay.
We can use Play Now Online because that's always been there. Put the playground, or if you're gonna go, then if you're not gonna do the playground thing and you don't think that's as successful, which I think that and my team probably generate anything else. Well, keep the pro-am, forget the playground, and just keep the my team. Like one of those modes had to go because you disc has a certain amount of memory on it. This is what I think. There's only so much memory you can put into that disc. So by you having all these modes, and you keep increasing these modes, and you're making these modes so in depth, especially modes like the pro-am, and this is a competitive mode. My team, because people are paying so much money in it, so you have to invest more into that. People investing so much just into their creative players because they're going to the playground. You're making all these modes. So what's happening is you're investing so much memory into these modes and the depth of these modes. What happens is you start taking away from the gameplay side of the game. Is being eliminated. And I think that's one of the reasons why. If you notice, 2K's always had problems, but the more modes they keep implementing to the game, the worse the gameplay is getting.
That is true, man. That is true.
It's true. Like, notice, Play Now Online, you always had your cheeses, but you had, like you said, you had your lobbies, and you could play against people who were like you. You had your leaderboards, all that stuff was intact. But the further they go away to expanding other modes, then the actual gameplay, Play Now Online, all that stuff becomes affected because now you're snatching memory from those modes to put into these other modes. And now all these other modes, not only are you investing more into these, but people are investing more into these modes with microtransactions. You know what I'm saying? People are paying X amount of dollars in VC just to get certain types of Jordans, to make their custom shoes. People want these haircuts. People want these outfits and different jerseys and stuff for their creative players. It's gotten a little ridiculous. I mean, I understand, like I said, people want variety, but when it all boils down to it at the end of the day, and I think this is one of the reasons why live has kind of slid in.
Okay.
As of late, is because 2K is they've worked so heavily on microtransactions, and the gameplay is lacking now. So people are willing to come to live, and even though live's animations aren't perfected, there's a lot of aspects of sim that are there that they can actually build on. And once they get a chance to expand the animation database, and I think this part of this comes from this too. Live, a lot of people are not investing in NBA Live because they won't give it a chance because it's so 2K stuck. They've been playing 2K for so long, and it's just been a game for so long, and then the Live is disappointed in with the last few iterations of the game, like 15 and 16. They're afraid to give 18 a try because they just assume it's 15 and 16 all over again.
Okay.
Not realizing the Live has made improvements since the games came out, and it's gotten better and better and better, and the modes are getting better, but they still need more work, to expand those to make their game compete on the level of the 2K. They still need more work. I give them that, but they have a lot of simulation aspects that are there that they can build on, and they can actually slide in there and persuade people. But a lot of people won't give it a chance. But the point I was trying to make anyway is that to invest in it, and more people got to give it a shot, because the more you invest in it, the more money they have to put more animations in the game, to put more modes into the game. See, 2K is able to put these modes in the game because no matter how crappy it is or how great the game is, people are still going to buy it. People are so intrigued with just this my player, my team, buying packs and all this different cartoon shit. Like, people are willing to take their money and they're willing to still invest in it no matter how good or bad the game is. So 2K can always keep investing in what? More animations. There might not be animations that you'll ever have control over, to put them in the game. They're able to make it where the players are more in depth because they have more money to do it. You know what I'm saying? They're able to change the skin on some of the graphics every other year because guess what? They have the money to do it. You know, something I don't understand is that, and I have a bicker with 2K about is that they have all this money, but just go and look at 2K's stadiums, the detail of the stadiums. I look at that a lot. If you go look at OKC, if you go look at Golden State, the Knicks stadium, it does not look like the Knicks. It does not look like Madison Square Garden. If you look up in the rafters and around, it looks nothing like that. Okay. Golden State looks nothing like Golden State on NBA 2K. The Pittsburgh's Little Caesars Arena Pistons Arena does not look like Little Caesars Arena. None of that looks like in the rafters to the top. It's like, wow, like you just gave me the court, but the rest of the stuff around it looks nothing like it looks in real life. But one thing, if you go check out NBA Live is lit like Madison Square Garden. Even the rafters that are hanging, that's in Madison Square Garden. Like these venues should be very detailed with the amount of graphics and stuff you put in the game. There's no excuse why it shouldn't look like I'm playing in Madison Square Garden. I want that definition. If you're gonna do all the other stuff, make sure the stadiums look right. Don't just give me some generic stadium and then slap the Knicks on the floor. No. Make it right. You know, that I have a problem with that. You know, but like I say, 2K, like I say, right now they still reign supreme because we have to get people out of thinking sway one way. It's either your live player or your 2K player. Me, I'm an in-betweener. I just give credit where credit is due when it presents itself. I don't dog 2K for no reason because every point I make is valid. Somebody on Twitter the other day came at me and I think and some other guy on Twitter and told us and said that we don't do enough. He says that we don't send videos in. I've sent videos. I got a ton of videos. I posted videos on Twitter at the devs so they'll see the problems in the game. No response. One thing I can honestly say is that it's bad about 2K, and it usually happens when companies who start to become reign supreme, become top dog, the customer service gets really bad.
That's true.
Notice the small companies, whenever you're dealing with a small company.
You're absolutely right because I don't know if you ever play World Gaming, but World Gaming doesn't even have a place to call in. They just have an email. It's like you can't even contact them.
like if you notice if you notice a lot of independent games, like a lot of the cheap independent games, those games usually the graphics might not be great, but the gameplay is really fun. And any issues you have, you can call and contact customer service or reach out to you and tell you, well, look, we're going to compensate you for this error that didn't happen because you didn't get your cards or packs or whatever it is. Anything you need, anything might be wrong with the game. The small companies always seem to respond, but the higher up they get, it could be 1 million or 2 million of us complaining. They're never going to respond to anything that we say because they've got our money now, so they really could care less what we think. You know, and the only time they're going to listen is if we stop paying for certain things, we stop paying for microtransactions. We have to stop investing money. It's not even so much just buying the game, but all this microtransaction money, like I said, for packs, and you buying VC to get clothes and up your My Career player and things of that nature. Once people stop doing that, that's when they'll take us serious. And I'm guilty of it myself. I'm very guilty of it. I'm not buying 2K, but it's something part of me that's like, wow, I got faith in Scott OG. I believe they're going to bring Sim to the game, and I believe it. So I go out and purchase it again just because I believe in them. But the truth of the matter is, in my opinion, I think they want it that way, but I don't think the higher ups and I don't think the people around them want the game that way. Because guess what? More simulation means more people are going to get bored with the game. When I say sim, I'm not talking about percentages, which they're tweaking like every 2 days. I'm not talking about stuff
Why did they do that? Why did they do that, guys? So, like every patch, they just change the game all crazy. And if you've seen the latest patch, now you can make heavily contested shots more often. I'm like, are y'all serious, man? Like,
that is so retarded.
The game for these casuals, man. Like, it's crazy.
Now, if you go look at the 2K ratings, they have shot open. Like they have like certain people like open threes, and then they have the contested threes, like something like that. They have ratings for these. Ratings matter. Like, why can't you just tune the game to where if I'm taking a contested three with James Harden, I might make it. If I take a contested three with Steph Curry or Kevin Durant or LeBron, I might make it. But I'm taking contested threes with guys like Trevor Ariza, it might not be so lucky to go in because he's not that type of player to do that. It's like, why don't the ratings matter? It's like when you play 2K, ratings are thrown out of the window. And last week, I think Spaz said the 2K is a little too sim. I don't think that's the case. Honestly, I don't think 2K is sim at all now. I think that they have plays in the game that are sim. They got settings in the game that are sim. They give you animations that look sim at times. But most of the time, it's animations that you really have no control over. You have settings in the game that absolutely don't work. You have a bunch of plays in the game that they look real nice, but if you zoom in sometimes and just look at them, you're being sucked into screens. You're being sucked into stuff just to make the play look pretty or make the play look effective. You're causing my player to do some absolute dumb shit just to pull this play off. So, no, it's not. Because one thing about sim is that we have control over mistakes we make. We have control over the rebounds that we attempt. Like, I don't want to see ball morphing. Like, I know every game has clipping because NBA Live has clipping, but it's nowhere near. And that's something I have a problem with trying to understand NYC. Like, Live is nowhere near on the level that 2K is. Money, they're not there with the animation database. But why is it that they respect more body and physics in 2K? Mm. Like, you never see a ball go through somebody's body as often as you do on 2K. You never see somebody walk through a person's whole body like you do on 2K. You never see the CPU travel like you do on 2K. Like on 2K, steps, dribbling, stop, pump fake, and then go back to dribbling again, like out of for no reason. Like, hold on, that's like you just dribbled to 2 steps, stop, pump fake, and then went back to dribbling twice again. Like, that's traveling. That's a blatant travel. Why is it that in 2K, when you shoot threes, man, so many threes count when people's feet are still on the line?
Yo, oh man, tell me about that. I thought I was the only one that's seen that. I'm surprised I never even mentioned that. Like, I've been looking, like, when I play online, I've been seeing them shoot a 2, but their foot, and they count it as a 3.
Like, head on the line.
Serious? Like, come on,
NBA Live, it knows what the 3-point line is, and it knows what the 2-point line is. Sometimes I'm like, hold on, that was a 3. I have to go back in and zoom and look at. I have to zoom and look at the ground. I'm like, hold on, wait, no, his feet was behind the line. Oh no, that was a 3. Like, okay, like they actually respect the 3-point line. Like, if you look at NBA Live, like I said, I put a Twitter video up last week and showing Victor Oladipo. Victor Oladipo was following, and I was Victor Oladipo. I was the Pacers.
Okay.
Victor Oladipo followed CJ McCollum all the way down the court. Then Caleb Swanigan from Purdue, he set a dummy screen, and CJ McCollum came back and tried to do a curl on the perimeter for a catch and shoot 3. Victor Oladipo, the whole time he came up the court, to the time Damian Lillard passed the CJ McCollum the ball, Victor Oladipo's eyes watched the ball and tracked the ball the whole play. And the moment he tried to come off that curl and catch and shoot for the 3, Victor Oladipo, I'm talking about, he put the Rockets on, jumped in front of that pass, went on a fast break for a dunk. Like, they actually are seeing the basketball on NBA Live. Oh, man. But nobody's talking about that. I got several videos on how they're actually tracking the ball. 2K doesn't do that. 2K can get steals and they're not even looking in that direction. Especially playing on Hall of Fame. Like, they'll have their back turned, they'll have their back turned, and they'll have their hands up. Yeah, they'll tip the ball in the air, turn around, catch the ball, and then on a fast break, like, hold on, who the hell has enough time to tip a ball in the air, turn around, catch it, and then push the fast break? Like, that's just unrealistically impossible.
Oh man, you're speaking gospel right now, man. Facts. Like, it just be frustrating me so much, man. Like, why do they do that? And especially, I play Hall of Fame, and I guess my other peers and people, man, we play Hall of Fame. But I know some people say to play Superstar, and I don't know. I'm just used to playing Hall of Fame. I guess that's just a mentality that most of us gamers want to act like that we're playing at the expert level and we can't dumb down. You know, that's just I don't know, that's just ego like this. But yeah.
And you know, and I'm gonna tell you something. Like me, that's how I've always played NBA 2K on Hall of Fame until like last year. Difference, and I think Gideon Prime mentioned this too. The difference between Hall of Fame, whether it be against user CPU, the difference in Hall of Fame is that they just make you miss way more shots open, more layups open. They make you miss ridiculous free throws. They give you a ton more force fields. Uh, they don't respect the body at all on Hall of Fame. Like all they do is, and I've always thought that higher difficulty level means every time you go up a different difficulty level means that the CPU gets smarter and smarter. But that's not the case with 2K. The higher the difficulty level, the more BS that occurs. It's like, and it shouldn't be that way. Like, I think they have enough people on the staff where they can come together and say, well, okay, we'll make Hall of Fame play pretty realistic. I remember playing NBA 2K8 with Chris Paul on the cover, I think. Hall of Fame was not easy, very smart. It would be games I would lose because of things I just did wrong. It didn't feel like I was forced. It didn't feel like they would get some cheap steal or some just make me just dribble the ball and ball just goes into the backcourt. They just didn't do that. Like it wasn't like I was like, say for instance, it's been times when I played on Hall of Fame and Superstar where I'm dribbling up the court and it's the last seconds of the game and I got about 4 points. I remember one time specifically playing with I think it was last year with Derrick Rose and the Knicks. I'm just dribbling up the court and there's maybe 32 seconds left in the game because I think the Knicks played Cleveland the first game of the season last year. So I'm playing a franchise with the Knicks. So I'm dribbling up the court with Derrick Rose, and Derrick Rose just dribbles the ball off his leg. And somehow, 2 players on my team, they ran into the backcourt to go get the ball. Running around the ball, nobody could pick it up. Nobody could touch it. And then LeBron James somehow, he just walks on the outside of them. And the ball just warps into his hand. He's on a fast break for a dunk. Like, I had to go back and look at the replay. Like, how did he even get the ball between 2 guys who pretty much had the ball covered up? The ball just warped into LeBron's hands.
Wow, that's crazy, man. That's just 2K for you, bro.
You know, so that just, like I said again, to be honest with you, I'm nervous for the people who are going to be competing in these modes, and the game is not well put together yet. I think that the game needs way more work before they can start having competitive leagues. I mean, you haven't even got the core gameplay down solid yet. You still haven't got playing online down solid yet. Your servers since Moses, it's just.
Let me ask you a question, guys.
It's a lot of
about Pro-Am. Like I see a lot of people talk about this. Like, why do you think that 2K feels? A lot of people like myself, I agree on this too. Like, because this is what the 2nd or 3rd year that they've had Pro-Am, right? Now a lot of people, if you play Pro-Am, there's no matchmaking. There's no private matchmaking for Pro-Am. Like, you can't have your 5 versus my 5, and then we just go into like just do that. Like, and people are saying, well, they don't have that because if they did, then other companies would try to create money tournaments and stuff like that. Like, what is your view on that? Because I really personally believe that too. Like, come on, 2K. Like, they're hurting the product because if they have that, the private matchmaking for Pro-Am, more people would tune in and buy 2K just for the Pro-Am, and that'll be a whole community as itself for competition. So I don't know why 2K tries to do that or they can't. I don't understand.
I mean, honestly, I really don't know. Like, honestly, I'm telling you right now, I don't even know how they even rank who the best Pro-Am players in the world. Like, I brought up this before, I think, on one of our shows before that I think that even with the Pro-Am rankings, I think that if a team is like, if they're like, just say for instance, they win, they're like 200 and they're 200 wins and 10 losses.
Okay.
And they play against a team that's like 3 and like 200. You don't get very many ranking points to beat a team like that. It should be kind of like college basketball. If you're 210 and you go and beat somebody who's like 210, you get more ranking points because you're beating better competition. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're beating top-notch people, then you rank up quicker. As opposed to you beat a bunch of scrubs whose records are like straight ass, and then you just leveling up. Like, no, that doesn't count. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of like even college football. Like, you get more credit for beating a ranked team than you do for beating a non-conference or like a Division II school. It just doesn't count.
Okay. Wait a minute.
It's like should be tiers to it.
I see Crazy Girl. She just tweeted me. She said that she's in the chat spitting knowledge. Do you see the chat comments? Because I don't see her comments.
No, you'll see the chat comments like on your YouTube page.
Yeah, I'm on it right now, and it says I put everybody who is watching. This is our first episode, so we're just getting all the kinks out. But yeah, I put on the thing. What's good with everyone? I don't know if you can see that. Are you on your YouTube page right now?
Getting it right now.
Is she chatting? Shout out to Crazy Girl. Let me type in here. This is what happens when you just experiment for the first time. But yeah. Do you see when I just put the first comment? What's good?
Let's see. Yeah, I see a whole list of stuff.
Oh, there's a lot of people chatting in here.
There's a bunch of people.
Oh
NYCDaFuture
wow.
Gaming. So
Trilogy
said, "Yo,
my fault. I didn't know y'all was talking." Yep. Let me go on the thing real quick. See, I didn't know.
So what up, fam?
King of the Couch. What's goody?
Crazy Girl said, "I think 2K trying to do totally right." Trilogy said, "Very true." And there's a bunch of stuff going off in the chat. This is great. That's what Crazy Girl said. They always try to add something new and game breaking. Absolutely. And Trilogy's honest. Approaches this year, every year, like the last few years.
Okay. Yeah, I can't get to it right now, but yeah, just keep looking at the chat periodically, and since you can find it right now.
And even Crazy Girl, she said the same thing we said. Contested shots are higher than an opening, and that's a major problem, and that's true. Like, that is not simulation. Nobody knocks down contested shots like that at a high rate than they do open. They just don't.
Okay. Why
only people who do this, like I said, superstars. That's the hard. I just don't understand why they would do that. Like I say again, my thing has always been this. Like, even with the shooting percentages. First of all, you can't simulate a shooting percentage. I think that if you're shooting a wide open shot with a good shooter, not to say he should make every shot, but he should make way more. Like, if Steph Curry's shooting 10 out of open, good releases, good timing, all of that, he should be knocking down 6 of those. You shouldn't limit him to just 40% because for the sake of percentages. I mean, no way. If he's going to shoot him contested, it should be more on the 4 out of 10 side, but not wide open. It's like 2K's trying to simulate too many percentages when you can't simulate shooting percentage because there's so many different factors in a real life basketball game. Your fatigue factor, how tired your legs are, who's guarding you, are you shooting from a spot on the floor that you're really comfortable shooting at? It's a lot of different factors to add into it. Like even when they had the remember they used to have last year they had the algorithms, and you'll start the game off before you even taking a shot. You start off with a blue ring under your player talking about he's cold. Well, how the fuck do I know if I'm cold if I ain't took no shots yet?
That's true. Wait a minute, I'm on it right now. I see some of the chats. Hey, what's up, K&T Gaming? What's up? Infinite Wisdom. Oh man, appreciate it, bro. Appreciate it. Crazy Girl, you already know what's up. Trill OG, yeah, that's his name, Trill OG and Twitch thing. What's up, bro? Who else is on there? Ray 2K, what's up? I see you on here, bro. But yeah, like you were saying, yeah, you're right about that, man.
Those are my main things. It's almost like 2K is they're going further and further away from what they always have tried to emulate, or should you say simulate. They're going further and further away from simulation, believe it or not. Like I say, plays are sim, the settings that they have are sim, but do they work? Like most of the things you're seeing with 2K is cosmetic stuff. You know, it looks good, it looks pretty, but what's underneath the surface? And I've always said this about 2K. 2K is like the pretty girl who really has nothing to offer you. She's gorgeous, she's pretty, she can't cook, she can't clean, and she's probably not going to even take care of you well if you're sick. She's just a pretty face. And you know what? 9 times out of 10, if she walks out on you, you're going to beg and ask her to come back to you just because you don't want to be left alone because you keep thinking about their pretty face.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying? It's like when somebody has 2 people, you have a girl who's okay looking and do just about a little bit of everything and do a little bit of everything right. But you have this gorgeous girl who looks like suit model and can't do jack shit. It's like most people are still going to take the pretty girl with all the problems because they want to live out a fantasy. I want to smash a foreign, or I want to smash something that's gorgeous. Which truth of the matter is, cute don't pay no bills. And again, cute might not help you out in your time of need. You might just do better with the average girl who does a little bit of everything right. She's more fulfilling on a mental level, possibly on a spiritual level, and even on a physical level, because the more you be around, you start to realize the things about her that you never thought were cute. You're like, wow, she actually has a lot of cute things about her.
That's true.
If you stick around long enough, you know, it's just people are just so visual now, you know. And I'm not gonna lie to you, 2K is a beautiful game. I'm just looking at it in motion. You almost think you're watching an NBA game. Like I said, my thing is how much of the stuff works in the game? How much of the stuff do you have control over in the game? And I've always told you this, we said this before on past shows. One thing, they always take out another. Remember last year, ankle breakers, people who had the ankle breaker badge, like James Harden, Kyrie Irving, you could cross people over and make them fall when the game first came out, especially if he was a bad defender. After that first patch drop, you couldn't cross over Roy Hibbert. He could stick to you like he was Kawhi Leonard. He played like he was Giannis Antetokounmpo, and he played like he was Trevor Ariza. Played like a juggernaut on defense. You couldn't even cross anybody over. So what 2K says, we implemented a new system this year. You know, we got more free-flowing dribble motions and animations. And now the dribbling works, but guess what? You really can't play D.
That's true.
It's always a one-sided affair. You know what I'm saying? It's never going to be a thing where it balances out because 2K lacks balance. It's not like I'm trying to crap on 2K. We just point out things that need to be fixed. At what point in time did we get tired of saying, like, look, I'm tired of seeing the same thing happen every year. I'm tired of the numerous amount of patches that we're getting. We got about 4 patches this year within like a month. Like we had number 6 now, and this is before Christmas. Last year they went out with March, and we had like 15. We might get 12 this year. And they're patching stupid stuff like Michael Jordan's tongue. You patched that and still fucked it up.
Hello, everybody. I saw that on Twitter, man. Everybody talking about the patched tongue. Like, are you serious? Come on, 2K. I don't know, man. I'm looking at what Ray 2K talking about, man. The fatigue, man, of this game. He's absolutely right, man. Like I mentioned that before.
Sucks. Now
fatigue is trash.
You did. Like online, you know we playing, and I think that if you're going to simulate shooting, and you're simulating shooting in a time frame or how many minutes you're playing, they got the percentages tuned to how many minutes you play a game. Like if you're playing, you might make more shots playing in a 12-minute game as opposed to a 6-minute game. You need to do fatigue the same way. There's no way people playing online and you playing 5 or 6 minute quarters, you mean to tell me you're gonna play the whole game? No fucking way. Players should be drained, especially if you holding turbo, which the average person online is holding turbo the whole game anyway, just sprinting down the court like idiots. They need to be, if you're gonna sprint for the first 3 minutes of the first quarter, you should be dropping the percentage. You should be dropping from 100% to like 65 or 70% of the fatigue factor if you just holding turbo, especially the first 3 minutes. You should be tired. Your men should have to sub at some point.
That's true. That's definitely true. I don't know, man. What to say about that? That's I see YFN talking about the PSN code. The my team, yo, what you said about like 2K dropping some of the game modes is true, or either we have to do that or make a separate disc, man. Like I've seen a lot of people talk about that on the forums, like Operation Sports. That's out to them. They said like maybe we should make 2 different games or something because it's too much. I don't know.
It is too much because you got too many different modes pulling with a different gameplay logic on one disc that doesn't have a whole bunch of memory for all those modes. Memory alone it takes probably for graphics. Think about how much memory alone it takes for dribble animations. How much memory alone it takes for those weak ass offensive rebound animations, which honestly there needs to be a whole rebuild in that department. But just think about all the animation they have in the game, the graphics, the presentation, the announcers in the game, the different announcers, the different arenas. Like all that stuff takes a shit ton of memory. And then meanwhile, on top of that, you actually got to incorporate gameplay and logic amongst like 4 or 5 different modes. And all of them thinking like totally different. So you know at some point in time they're all going to become affected. It's just too much. You know, and then you're charging people. And like I said, again, you're charging people all this VC and why don't you just look? Just charge people for 2 different discs. You want my team, playground, and pro-am? This is the NBA 2K playground, pro-am, and my team game. Buy that. If you're gonna play franchise and play it online, just let me buy the regular game.
That's a fact. I don't know how we're gonna fix that, man. Like the servers, gameplay. I'm talking a little spaz right now. Little spaz about to be on here shortly, everybody.
Yeah, you know, it's just a lot of it's just a lot, man. It's just a lot of stuff, man. I think that 2K they've fallen on deaf ears uh to the core gamer now. Like we're talking about hardcore gamers. When I say core gamer, I'm not talking about like. I'm gonna tell you something. I never forget when I went to go pick up 2K11. I knew 2K was switching over in because I went to a GameStop in the hood with a friend of mine. This is actually his neighborhood, but I know people from the neighborhood because I'm always hanging out there with him. And we stand up there in line, and I see 2 crackheads buying 2K. I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, they actually game, huh? Like, wow, crackheads gaming, huh? I knew then, like, man, 2K changing. Like, man, it's really changing, man. Like, it's not really about it's seeming was it's more or less about graphics and just my team, dude. Like, they killing me with this. My team's Madden. Everything is my team. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, Madden Ultimate Team. Even the hockey game. Like I like the NHL, but they hockey Ultimate
Yo,
Team.
what's up, Marco?
Even
Wait, hold on, bro. NYC Croatian Bros. What up, Marco? What up, little spaz? Waiting for you, bro. I see you in the chat. Yeah. What were you saying?
yeah, you know. And like I said, you know, like I said, and even Crazy Girl, she said it's not 2K's fault because they're the only choice. That's true. It's not. I mean, Live kind of did a lot of this to themselves by not coming out. Like I said, they had 2 games pretty much deleted. You know what I'm saying? So that just kills your fan base right there. You pretty much gave the open competition to NBA 2K. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, my thing is Live has kind of brought a lot of this on themselves. But like I said, right now they're redeeming themselves because I can honestly say, because I play NBA Live like nonstop. And I'm gonna be honest with you. There's some animations that I do not like. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like, but I like the shot meter better. I like when you're hot and cold. I like that better.
Okay.
I like the way that I like the way the rebounding can be fixed a little better, but it's better than 2Ks, especially the offense. It's way better than 2Ks. The passing could be much better, but the defense, you can actually play defense. I can tell the difference when I'm playing defense with somebody like a JJ Redick and Kawhi Leonard. Kawhi Leonard can lock up, but JJ Redick can't. You can almost go around him at will. If you got any type of handle, you can go around him and go to the rack every time.
Okay.
So there's a lot of sim aspects to it. The main thing I think this hurting Live is, and I've said this before, Live needs to make it where you can play your friends online in just head-to-head games, and you don't have roster editing. That hurts because nobody wants to wait 3 weeks or a month on you to update the fucking rosters. That's ridiculous. We had roster updating on our, we can roster update on our own and edit our own rosters on live, like Live 96. We didn't need somebody to update our rosters. We could do it on our own.
That's true.
So they hurt themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I heard that the live updates, what, they still have Golden Hayward. Is that true?
Like, yeah, they do. especially when you play, like, you play in franchise mode, like, he still start.
Wow, he still starts?
Live has some things.
Oh, man.
Yeah, see, like I said again, Live has a lot of things they need to work on. But I'm talking about, like, I'm just speaking specifically on gameplay. Like, their play calling library is nowhere near as big as 2K's. I'm gonna tell you right now, and this is my opinion. It's not me speaking for anybody. If we can get, if I was somebody in EA Sports, if I could persuade the czar to come to NBA Live and redo our play library, Live alone with just the gameplay and the plays that the czar puts in the game, Live will automatically kill 2K on gameplay.
That's true.
Because czar's plays will incorporate so well with NBA Live.
That is true. But wasn't the czar NBA Live before, or was that just Mike Wang and Scott OG?
That was just Mike Wang and Scott OG.
Okay. I
think Czar just did those. He was doing the videos for Live on Operation Sports. I think he was just doing that on his own. That had nothing to do with EA. That was just him doing it.
Okay. All right. That's some good clarifications. But yeah, if he went to Live, man, it definitely would be kind of crazy.
Because it's, I mean, like I said, his play concepts will be off the chain. I'm talking about just with, like, man, it's funny because I'm gonna tell you right now, you could play NBA Live and you could set us that you could do like an off ball, or somebody could do an off ball screen. And say, for instance, Steph Curry's doing like a backdoor screen, he runs into DeAndre Jordan, bro, he will actually fall down if he runs into him. I've seen players slip trying to come off a screen, come off a curl and slip and fall. Like that's okay. Realistic. That happens.
Yeah, it is realistic. I don't know, man, but it's still a lot of people. What NBA Live costs what, $15 now?
Well, it was $15.
It might do it.
Yeah, it is 15
for Christmas time.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I mean, like I say again, man, like I try to tell people, you know, sometimes you have to, in order for you to see sometimes to see the good, you have to open your mind. You can't just be, it's the same thing I tell people about religion. I got my religion, but at the same time too, religion and study other religions just to see how much of mine is true. Because you don't want to just assume because you're so accustomed to one thing that your mind is, this is the best there is and nothing else is ever good. There's no good in anything else because this is all I see. This is all I read. No. You have to almost like break the mind down and refeed it the information that you once learned with other information to come up with a real good concept. This is something I want to believe in because one source of information. You got to play two. And that's why I told everybody, I said, you got to get both basketball games. Because if you get both, you can see the good in both. And then when one really starts to like act up, you can say, okay, I'm letting it go. Like even people say 2K is great offline. No, it's not. I got videos right now to show you how bogus that gameplay is. Getting Prime from True Chaser shows exactly all the bullshit goes on the game when he's playing offline. So don't give me crap about offline is a great game. No, it's not. Stop. Now, if you want to play a more realistic style of gameplay, you probably want to play in Pro-Am with a bunch of people that you know. That's probably where you're going to get the most realistic gameplay you can possibly get with no interference from CPU.
Okay. That is true. It's Spaz. I sent you the invite, bro. So if you're listening, yeah, just go on the Google Hangout thing, man. I sent you the invite. Yeah, you're definitely right about that.
You got to play both, man. You can't just be you can't be just sucking into just seeing one side. deceptive because you play one thing so often. I hear people say all the time, and I'm not playing live, man. I'm playing 2K. You know, I don't even fool with live. So you already closed your mind up to the possibility that live might actually have some good in it because all you play is 2K. Me, I'm not one of those people that just want to be stuck on just one thing. I got to play both so I can make a good assessment for myself. I grew up in church most of my life. My mom, you know, she's a minister, but I'm gonna be honest with you, I questioned a lot of stuff that she taught me. And had to go back and find out a lot of stuff what you learning in your church wasn't really biblical or wasn't really laws. It's just laws that they put in there, that people put in there for you. Because they were using to their benefit. You know, it's just like I said again, you really have to open your mind to see two sides, like I said, before you can make any type of
judgment
assessment about things. Yeah, any type of assessment or judgment, man. Because let's be honest, the real reason why a lot of racism goes on in the world, and it's just on just some human being conversation, just the conversation about people.
Okay.
The reason why racism exists in the world, you know why? Is because guess what? Most people who are prejudiced just never been around enough different, haven't been around enough culturally different people to know anything about them. So they already got a wall built up because of the BS that they've been taught. All Muslims are terrorists. What? You don't even know any Muslims. all blacks rob and steal. I used to work with a white guy that says, "Oh man, black guys are criminals." And I said, "Really?" This when I was like 19. I said, "Really?" I said, "How many black friends do you have?" I don't need black friends. He made that point because guess what? When he said that, I knew right then and there, like he only made that point because he's never been around too many black people to know what black people are about or how we really are. You just go according to what you see on the news or what you've been taught, and you run with it. Get out there and know somebody who's culturally different from you. Then you can say, no, all Muslims aren't like that. All black people aren't like that. All white people are not racist.
Gonzo, Spaz just said he messaged me. He said that he didn't get the emails, so just let him know how to get the invite. I think tell him to go.
Yeah, Spaz. What you got to do is Spaz. He sent you the invite. You got to go into your Google Hangout on your computer or on your phone, and then it should have like a tab in there somewhere that says invites. Click on it, and it should say NYCDaFuture says name. You should be able to click on it, and then click on it. It says ongoing call. Click on that, and you'll enter right into the show.
And anybody else that wants to be a part of the show right now, just put it in the chat. If y'all want y'all face to be seen right now, and then y'all could be on the show. So just let us know in the chat if y'all want to be on the show today live. All right.
I mean, well, honestly, we're gonna be technically honest. Like Crazy Girl said, racism in this country because the country was built on white people being superior is because people are ignorant to others, which is part true because technically there's never really been racism. Through history, nobody ever talked about race. It's always been tribalism, you know, so technically. So it's not racism, it's tribalism, if we want to be like technical. You know what I'm saying? It's always been about different tribes being bigger than one other tribe or bigger than others. It's never been about color. Even if you go back into Egyptian history, there were different shades of Egyptians. You had dark ones, you had light brown ones, you had medium, you had the kind of caramel colored Egyptians, which people say caramel color now, but that's not the correct term. But you had different shades of dark in those times. So it's never really been about color. It's always been about tribalism, you know. But I don't want to, you know, talk about, you know, and racism, like Spaz says, this so-called racism or tribalism, it is a distraction for a bigger agenda. It really is. Because guess what? If we can keep everybody divided by race, color, creed, religion, then the powers that be or the rich white percent, they continue to get everything they want. They continue to manipulate our money, manipulate our health care, and keep everything for themselves. Because guess what? They only get rich in the midst of other people's chaos.
Well, that's definitely true. She said, "What about the black people that were already in this country?"
The black people already in this country. Oh, I mean, yeah, I mean, first of all, like I said again, you have to look and find out it was several different types of black people because the first people always say, oh, it was the Native Americans. Well, a lot of the Native Americans were black, one. And did you not know that 2,000 years before they touched the American soil, the kings of West Africa, Mali, they traveled here first. You had the, if I'm not mistaken, I think you had the Egyptians who traveled here first. They say the Egyptians probably traveled here first because they were the only people who had first traveled to even travel that amount of distance. Not to mention, in 1982 in southern Carbondale, Illinois, if you go type in Carbondale, Illinois, tombs underneath southern Carbondale, Illinois, in 1982 or 84, I think that's it. They'll show you that it was black people who lived here, and they got tombs underground in Illinois to show that blacks had traveled here 2,000 years before Native Americans had ever touched this soil. So yeah, I mean, if you want to say the indigenous people were probably black, you probably would be right.
And why Croatian boy said, "We need the national teams back in the European clubs."
Now, I'm gonna tell you something right now. No. I mean, maybe if they came out with a European edition, I would say so. But over here, nope. Almost everybody I play with over here, and I'm talking about I got a buddy named Muhammad. His parents are from Morocco. He was from Morocco to the time he was probably 3. But well, he left Morocco when he was 3. That's what I'm trying to say. He didn't even play with any of those national teams. Nobody we know of any race plays those European squads. Everybody wants to play with the American players.
Mm.
I mean, now, if they wanted to come up,
and then 2K got the what's that thing they have now? The all-time teams thing.
Yeah, the all-time teams. Yeah, which I think was a waste too. You could have just kept the classic team.
Now what they're gonna do next year? They're gonna keep classic and all-time. It's a new feature.
Honestly, man. Honestly, I don't know what they're gonna do. I don't really know what they're gonna do. Honestly, at this point, man, all I'm asking for is gameplay to be fixed. And as of right now, from what I've seen the last few years, and I know I said it before, like, no, I'm not purchasing it. I'm not purchasing 2K next year. I'm gonna wait. See how everybody else.
You said that last year, though, Gonzo.
I did, no, but it's something. Hey, man, you know what? It's something different, man. I've been listening to King Havo's show and Geddon, listening to Gideon Prime, and I'm listening to all of them, and I really listened to him and came with the conclusion that if you really want change, you got to stop purchasing it, because as long as they see the dollars, they're not going to change anything. It's going to be the same thing. It's going to be the same thing continuously. We got to stop purchasing.
That's true. I mean, we all say that, but then, but when it gets to that time, then we're like, oh man, we need a new game because we're getting tired of this NBA 2K18. Once 2K19 come out, you see the listen, all that trailer stuff. I'll never get hyped no more. To be honest, before I used to get hyped when I was younger. Now it's like same stuff. I just want a new game. You know what I mean? That's just how it is.
Yeah, and I think that's just we purchase it because we always think that the change is going to happen. And then the trailers do kind of hype us up a little bit. They tell us, they give us this hope for a new game, a better game, and we see the graphical features in the game, and then we see like how the motion looks on the screenshot. So we get hyped. And after a while, we become unsettled, and we're like, "Wow, man, look, I got to get this. It's gonna be better this year. I know it's gonna be better." And then when you get the game, it usually is really good for like that first week until they come up. When they drop that first patch, the game is never the same, ever.
Never, right? That's the awesome.
It is never the same after the first patch. Something always goes wrong after the first patch. I'm still trying to find out something about 2K. We argue about speed differential. There's still no speed differential in the game. I'm tired of seeing people like Dwight Howard outrunning Russell Westbrook. Stop. Once Russell Westbrook's at the half court line and Dwight Howard's still in the basket on the other end, He can outrun and manage to still get in front of you to make a block. Like, that's crazy to me.
That's true. I don't think they're ever gonna fix that. Do they have that speed thing for NBA Live, or is it the same thing?
I'm gonna tell you something right now. Now, NBA Live, I'm gonna tell you right now. If I got somebody like Russell Westbrook, ain't no big man catching me on a fast break, and I got open space, he will never be able to catch me.
Okay. That's good.
Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Somebody like LeBron might catch him though, because LeBron he has bigger strides. So LeBron might be able to catch him. Or Kevin Durant might be able to catch him. But like I said, those are like exceptions to the rule. These are exceptional athletes, though. These guys can actually run the length of the court in like 4 steps. Giannis Antetokounmpo can do the same thing. He ran the length of the court one time and took like 3 steps, and then he like a euro at the 3-point line. Like, and scored. Like, they take big strides so he can eat up a chunk of ground. But like, nobody like Roy Hibbert catching Russell Westbrook, or like I said, Russell Westbrook or catching De'Aaron Fox. Like, it just does not happen. 2K has like speed inhibitors or something. I mean, prohibitors. Like, it's something that holds the speed back. Like, you can have a clear lane to the basket, and even when you go for a layup, what they'll do is you can have somebody beat going to the rack, and like, soon as you try to make a layup at the free throw line, they almost make you do like all this unnecessary animation for a layup, and then next thing you know, the guy just slid right in front of you. Like, man, just lay the ball up. You ain't got to do all this extra shit, man. Chill.
Oh man, exactly, man.
It's just too much. It's like, just stay. It's like sometimes I think 2K is making basketball too much more complicated than what it should be. Okay, I'm on a fast break with somebody who got like a 96 speed. There's no reason for him to do all this whole animation layup. Like, no, just lay the ball up, man. Look, because let me tell you something. You could be on a fast break, and you got somebody coming up behind you, and you get to doing all this reverse layup stuff, and you miss, the coach probably gonna put you on the bench.
And this layup thing, man, I'm glad you talked about the layups, man. The layups this year, I'm sorry, man. If there's no shot meter, no layup meter, why are the layups just too many missed layups, man? I understand you don't make every layup in real life, but something's got to change, man. How do you feel about the layup?
Again, it's that illusion of simulation. It is the illusion of simulation. Like, we have to make you miss layups in real life. So we're gonna make you miss a ton of them because it's hard to score in the paint in the NBA. But trust me, it's much more easy making layups in the NBA than it is shooting threes. How many Houston Rockets hit? Houston Rockets made. Houston Rockets took a ton of threes last year. In 3-point percentage as a team. Like, that's good, but that wasn't even great. They just taking a whole bunch of threes. The pace they were pushing that allowed them to shoot all those threes. But let's be honest, they were number 15 in 3-point shoot. So meaning that they was okay. They're like the middle team. You can't tell me that they were making more threes than layups. No way. And then you mean to tell me that it's easy to make, it's harder to miss layups now than in the 80s and the 90s? Get the fuck out of here. Like, now you pretty much can't even touch anybody anymore. In the 80s and 90s, you go for a layup, you might miss some teeth.
That's a fact, man.
I mean, missing. I'm coming down the court one time on 2K or 2K18. I got Dennis Smith, and I'm talking about he's wide open, and the animation they gave me, like way on the opposite side. Somehow he just turned around and just slid right in front of me. And then I noticed as Dennis Smith Jr. was going for the layup, it was almost like he was holding his hand back from even like just laying the ball. It was almost like something delayed him from attempting to lay it like properly, like he should have done in the first place. It's like, it's so much like chain reaction bullshit in the game, man. Like, it's so irritating. And I get frustrated because it's like, why would he even do something this dumb? Like, just lay the ball up. There's no need to do all this move and this motion. Stop. Just lay it up.
That's true. That's definitely true. I don't know what's 2K solution, man, but like you said, man, I think 2K Next year they need to invite you over there, invite me, Spaz, Venom, Gideon, a whole bunch of everybody else that be watching us all the time, and Crazy Girl, Ready 2K, King Cows, like so many people, us, the community that really play the game. Actually, get Fam over there. That's, you know, he does all these plays and everything, man. Get people that actually play the game with gameplay are skilled on there, and get the cheesy people out there. Like, come on, it's not hard. I don't understand it.
See, I'm gonna tell you right now, they wouldn't invite nobody like me. I'm too honest. I'm not somebody that they would want to hear from. You know, they want people to be more. They're choosing people who will say, "Oh man, great game! Oh man, I'm excited! Oh, I'm definitely getting tons of VC this year." Like me, I wouldn't get there and just play the game. First thing I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get there and I'm gonna crank the game to Hall of Fame superstar. I said, I don't want nobody to get on the sticks with me right now. I want to play by myself this first quarter. I'm gonna show you what I see. First thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna test the speed. Like, why he ain't that fast? I'm gonna go test it. I'm gonna start going straight, trying to do layups. Then I'm gonna go into the settings. First, I'm gonna see how they work. The settings work on auto. Then I'm gonna go in and change my own settings to see how they stick with people like they're supposed to. Because when I'm done, I'll be done dissecting that game by the first quarter and tell them everything is wrong with it. This one needs to be fixed. That need to be fixed. This need to be fixed. And don't pass the damn game after the first week. They're gonna tell me get up out of there, man, and send me back home. They wouldn't even send me home on United Airlines. They fucking send me back home on a Spirit plane.
Take your $49 flight back home.
Yeah. I'll be up there talking about some 2K. They got people up there making people that's working on the staff making rockets. I like to know what fucking rockets they making. Cause I hope they ain't touched that damn Spirit plane they send me back home on. Must have like glitch in the air. And that's it.
Oh man, that's bad, man. I don't know, man. That's 2K. What do you
need help, man?
What do you think about the basketball season so far?
Oh, the basketball season, man. I mean, it's kind of what I expected. I mean, we're gonna see Cleveland come back and take over the East. We know Golden State and Houston and the Spurs gonna be in the West, and we know Golden State and Cleveland gonna be in the finals. Same old stuff, man. It's like all these acquisitions really don't mean anything. People kill me. Oh man, Russell this, Russell that. Let me tell you something. Last year was fool's gold. Russell Westbrook should not have been MVP. It should have been James Harden. People, man, he averaged a triple double. Man, that's the first time that's been done since Oscar Robertson. But nobody talks about how James Harden scored 2,000 points and assisted on 2,000 points. And that hasn't been done since like 1971, like Nate Archibald or something like that. Like, nobody talks about that. Nobody talks about how James Harden's a better field goal percentage, free throw percentage shooter, 3-point percentage shooter, had more steals. Only thing he missed from Russell Westbrook was, I think it was 2 rebounds less, because I think James Harden averaged like 29, 11, and 8.8 rebounds. The dude almost averaged a triple-double himself. Not to mention his team was, I think, 3rd in the West. Let's not forget that. But it just goes to show you again with Russell too, that everybody who's left his team has gotten better. Let's look at this. Domantas Sabonis, if I'm not mistaken, I think he's averaging like 11-11. Victor Oladipo will definitely be an all-star this year. Enes Kanter's averaging like 13-11, 13-12. He's looking like a decent player. None of these players look like this playing with Russell Westbrook. And look, you got Paul George and Carmelo, and guess what? They look worse now than they looked in their careers, period, playing with Russell Westbrook. Russell's the problem.
I don't know, but I laugh at the TV, man. Everybody's talking about that Melo sustain. Why should Melo stay in the bench? Like, people saying Melo should be in the bench. Like, I don't know if you believe Melo should be in the bench, but
no, he should not. Melo's not the problem.
Who's better than the Melo on that team from the bench for him to be?
Melo ain't the problem, bro. I'm gonna tell you something. Melo doing what they need him to do. First of all, they don't have nobody on the team that's really no legit shooter. All you got is Paul George and Carmelo. So they got to be on the floor just about all the time. They the only people on the team that can shoot. That dude Alex Sabrinas, he can shoot. But those are the only shooters you have on the floor. what I don't like what they're doing with Melo is this year. And I don't know if it's Melo or I've always said that I know Melo could shoot the three, but I'm gonna tell you something. I think that if Melo would have changed his game a long time ago and just been a post-up guy, I'm telling you, NYC, Melo could have been the most dominant, undersized, small forward, power forward on the block, bro, ever. Because there's nobody who can stick him posting up. Like, he has so many moves. He's fast. He's stronger than what you give him credit for. He's 6'8". Even the 6'10" dudes won't be able to keep up with him. He'll get him in foul trouble. And then Melo shoot like 50-some%, like within 8 to 10 feet of the basket. I would have Melo posting up, but he wants to shoot threes. And then I think OKC, from what I'm seeing, they don't run plays with him close to the basket. All they want him to do is stand him and Paul George, stand on the perimeter, ISO, and wait for Russell Westbrook to kick the ball out to him. Like, that's not really their style of play.
Yeah.
It's Russell Westbrook, bro. That's really what it is. Russell Westbrook's not efficient.
I do like Westbrook.
He's not a smart basketball player.
You don't like Westbrook though as a player?
No. I think he's the most athletic. I think he's the most athletic, very fast, but probably the dumbest point guard in the NBA. Like, he does not have the IQ. Everybody's always talking about, oh, he cooks Steph. He'll cook Steph Curry. Yeah, because he is actually, they say Westbrook is a legit 6'4". He is fast and athletic. That's something I would not take away from him. But let's be honest, Steph's a smarter player.
Yeah, he is.
Steph's a smarter player. Chris Paul is a smarter player. Rondo might not be the greatest of player because I think Russell Westbrook is better. But we're talking about just IQ-wise, Rondo's better. Patrick Beverly, IQ-wise, is better. You say what you want. They might have had the physical tools and put up the numbers, but they're smarter players than Russell Westbrook. I can name several people that are smarter than Russell Westbrook. And for him to be the star of a team, he just does not have the IQ to lead a team. That's a reason why Kevin Durant left. It had nothing to do with he couldn't lead a team, because I think that's the furthest from the truth. People say what they want to. Oh, he was a snake and all this stuff here. Well, you call it what you want to. I think it was a smart business move. I know he played with Russell long enough to know that you can't win with Westbrook. He had to get out of there. He started playing with smarter coach Steve Kerr, playing with a smarter point guard in Steph, a smarter system, Golden State, and he got a ring.
That's true.
You know what I'm saying? It's like we can say we want to talk about LeBron, and as much as I dislike LeBron, let's be honest though. LeBron is strong, fast, all the athletic tools. He became a better three-point shooter. He need to work on his free throws a little bit. He's not a great post-up guy, but he can go to the rack. But LeBron plays defense, but we got to give LeBron a little credit for something. He's probably by far one of the smartest NBA players. I don't think people give enough credit for intelligence now. You know, like people say, oh man, Russell Westbrook's a dog. Why? Because when he dunks, he yells and screams and stomps across the floor because he looks like an alpha dog. No. I mean, LeBron is probably a pit bull shepherd, and Russell Westbrook is probably a fucking chihuahua. He's just doing a lot of barking.
A lot of barking, yeah.
That's it. But leaving out, he's not taking over games. And then it made me so mad last year when he hit that last 3-pointer against Denver. and they ended up winning. And people like, oh man, MVP, he beat fucking Denver. But then when in the first round, they got stomped out by the Rockets.
That was funny.
It's just hard to listen to people. I've started watching ESPN. I would let go all those sport networks, bro, because half of them don't know. Everybody just looks at numbers and then looking at highlights. But if you go and look at the games, man, it's nobody's paying attention to what's really going on. Like people, Karl Anthony Towns, top 10 player in the league. Karl Anthony Towns cannot play defense. His defense sucks. I've been saying it. Are you crazy? He can play D. No, he sucks at defense. He's an offensive juggernaut. He can rebound, but defensively, he's garbage.
I don't know. I can't really say that because I'm playing with the Wolves right now in 2K. So
I mean, no, I'm not mad at you,
yeah.
but see, you gotta look at it. But you gotta look at the team. Like the Timberwolves got a chance to be good because they got a number of different people who can actually score. You know what I'm saying? You got Taj Gibson who can give you 15 possibly give you 15 on a night. You got Aaron Brooks. You got Jamal Crawford. You got Jeff Teague, Jimmy Butler, and Wiggins. You got all these different people that can score defensively just because they have length. Like they don't have to be perfect, but they got enough length to make them a really good defensive team. Wiggins, he's lengthy. He's about 6'8", 6'9", with almost a 7-some-foot wingspan, if not 7-foot wingspan. Jimmy Butler can play D. We know Taj can play D. You know what I'm saying? Karl-Anthony Towns, like within the system, he could probably play D within the system. Why do you think Boston is so much better defensively this year? It's not so much that they got great defensive players on the team, because Tatum has never been a defensive player. Al Horford, he's an okay perimeter defender, but last year he wasn't that good defensively. We know Kyrie's never been a great defensive player. You know what I'm saying? Like we've known this, but you know what it is? It's the length that's making them. It's the length that's making them a better defensive team this year. Like you got 6'9", you got a 6'10", 6'11" guy, you got another 6'7", 6'8" shooting guard. You work all those different pieces together. You can play defense good enough if you got a little length. Because believe it or not, don't let nobody tell you height and size don't matter. Yes, it does.
That's true. Shout out to Nathan Taker. I see you, man. You from Brazil. Yeah, we good out here, man. And Trillo G said that game 6 against the Spurs cost Harden his MVP.
It probably did, but it shouldn't have though, because we counted the regular season. Like if that's the case, we should have counted that whole Rockets and Thunder series against Russell Westbrook, because yeah, he was getting triple doubles, but he was getting nobody involved.
Mm. Well, I honestly believe that even though I don't like LeBron James, but I think man I think LeBron James will get MVP, man, just off of if Kyrie doesn't be #1 or James, I think it's either between Kyrie, James Harden, or LeBron. But just because the NBA loves LeBron James so much and LeBron's actually doing good for stats, that they're gonna have LeBron as MVP. What do you think about that? And shout out to Big Man Sam. What up?
Well, how we going? I don't know how we're gonna say. I don't know how we're gonna say LeBron is MVP right now, because James Harden is averaging more points, more assists. He's only 3 rebounds short of LeBron. LeBron has a better field goal percentage because he's doing a lot of going to the rack, and hey, he's shooting 3. I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, I think James Harden shoots a better 3-point percentage and a better free throw percentage. And his team has a better record than LeBron's. I think LeBron is 2, but I think hands down James Harden's #1 right now. Look at all the pieces he's missed. He got a whole new bench from last year. He does not have Pat Beverly. He don't have none of them young guys. Good, but I mean, are we really saying that PJ Tucker is the caliber of a Patrick Beverly? No, he's good. He's a good player. Not to mention you got Chris Paul, who's been hurt most of the year. He just came back like last week before last. Well, he's been doing all this stuff with a whole new cast off the bench. Chris Paul hurt. The emergence of Clint Capella has helped, but it's been all James Harden. Most definitely. The dude changed from shooting guard to point guard and set the league on fire and did not win the MVP.
Mm. Yeah, that's true. I don't know. The NBA probably give James Harden the MVP this year. Either him. I don't think they're gonna give it to Kyrie because it's his first year with Boston, but see what happens.
I mean, Kyrie could easily get up there too, though. Like I said again, especially if they come out like number one in the East. I mean, if he gets a shooting percentage over 45%, he doesn't have to get a lot of assists. I think he can get like 7 assists. I mean, Kyrie has a legit shot. I really believe it. Like I said, man, it's just a shame, man. Like now, there's no criteria for like voting, like even for Hall of Fame now. Like, there's no real criteria. Like Tracy McGrady got into the Hall of Fame like on the first ballot. Like I like Tracy McGrady. I think he was a hell of a scorer, but there is no fucking way that it's no fucking way that okay.
There's no way that what?
It's just no. I said there's no way that, like I said, like I said, I'm going back to the Boston thing. There's no way Boston is going to be remotely good without Kyrie. I think Kyrie actually makes them that much better. I think the draft picks made them better. Like I say, Houston, James Harden. I just, like I say it again, it all goes back down to the end of this. The NBA is so predictable now, and it's all. And the criteria, that's what I was talking about. The criteria for the NBA. Like Tracy McGrady, he should have made it to the Hall of Fame, but not now. Tracy McGrady had 6 good years that he dominated. He spent most of his career injured towards the end. He spent most of his career in the beginning putting up a lot of numbers, but he was getting eliminated in the first round. You mean to tell me Tracy McGrady deserves to get in the Hall of Fame before Chris Webber? No. No way. Chris Webber's been out of the first round more than once.
Yeah, that's true.
Like I said, there's no real criteria now for MVP voting. Even with for Hall of Fame voting. Same thing for MVP. Like nobody's looking at who's the most valuable on a team. Somebody told me, say, if you take James Harden off the Rockets last year, they still make the playoffs. Stop. Like, stop. Seriously? Like, no way.
That's true.
And then Russell Westbrook. Then like Russell Westbrook. I mean, no, you couldn't take, if you took Russell off the OKC, no, they probably wouldn't make the playoffs. No. Russell rebounds. Russell got those rebounds because they told the big men not to get the rebounds. They were pretty much stat pad. That's okay with people because a triple-double is a triple-double.
Yeah, that's true.
Triple-double, come on.
And Trilogy is talking about why don't they give the award after the season is over?
I mean, because I guess
that is true though. Like, why?
Like I mean, but last year they did. Last year they gave the award after the season was over with.
With the MVP season?
The MVP trophy. They gave the MVP trophy up after the NBA playoffs was done.
No, but
remember they had
but they're saying after the season is over with, not with after the playoffs is over.
Oh, after the season. Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, man, it's always been. It's one of those things, man. That I think that voters count if he make it past. They used to count it. Oh, if he doesn't make it past the first round, he couldn't get it. Like, what does the playoff got to do with the regular season? Like, I really don't know, man. It's like I said, this new NBA is something different to me. It's nothing like what we grew up watching. Nothing like, we had. I hate when people say, "Oh, Kobe Bryant would have been good." Well, Kobe Bryant played pretty much with the Jordan era rules. Like they didn't change those rules to like 2006 or 7. So Kobe Bryant had already won like 3 championships in a tough era. So I hate when people say that, Kobe didn't play in a tough era. Yes, he did. He won the last 2 in the soft era, but he won 3 during the tough era. Don't make no mistake about it.
Yeah. Everybody always want to discredit Kobe, man. It's just
all the time.
All the time, man.
Even in my top 5 rating, I got Jordan, Kareem, Kobe. I got Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, and LeBron. Now, if LeBron could pull out another ring or 2, he might move into where Larry Bird's in. But as of right now, for me, he's not in my top 5. Not right now. No way.
Okay. That's... What do you think about Lonzo?
Bum. He's a fucking bum. He's a bum. Brandon Ingram's a fucking bum too. And Brandon Ingram got the same move. Like, bro, he always trying to just drive his way into the lane because he doesn't really have a lot of dribbles. They kind of expose him because when he kept going to the hole, he just kept knocking the ball. It's like, oh, we know what you're doing. You're doing the same thing over and over. You're easy to defend.
Well, Brandon Ingram, man, I can't really say Brandon Ingram because he's actually, I used to say he was a bum too, but he's actually impressing me a little bit, man. He's at least he's more aggressive and he's playing not totally bad, but Lonzo Ball right now, I don't know. I hope he has potential, but
all I can say is Kyle Kuzma is the best player on that team, period. Best player on that team, period. He's the leading scorer on the team right now. Shoot like 45% and 40 from threes and like 76.769 from free throws, I think. And then last night he came out with 19 and 12. Come on, man. I'm talking, he has low post moves. He's kind of like an old school player, but man, he can hoop. Like he's the best player on the Lakers right now. Right now, if I'm Magic, I'm doing whatever I can to get LeBron next year. I'm putting Lonzo on the trade block. I'm putting fucking Brandon Ingram on the trade block. I'm getting rid of everybody on that roster I can to improve this roster quickly. I'll keep Kuzma because he can be worked with. He's a stretch. He can stretch the floor. You can use somebody like, and he can play defense. He can play with somebody like a LeBron. Lonzo Ball's he's soft, timid. His shot is terrible. Like that twist, like that twist of the arm and stuff when he shoot. Like it's just like bad mechanics. And I don't see him improving unless he changes that shot altogether. Brandon Ingram, my biggest problem with Brandon Ingram is that, yeah, he's showing a little more aggression, but how aggressive are you going to be with like a 150-pound frame? Like, at what point you got to bulk up, man? Like, I mean, what is his weight now? Like, what, 190, 195?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he got to at least get up to 210, 215. He got to put some more muscle on that body because I'm telling you right now, his body is not prepared for this type of. He misses a lot of those layups too. Like when he gets to the rack, he misses a lot of layups because his body cannot absorb that contact.
That's true. I see Trill OG said Kuzma should have got drafted with Lonzo and what up, Marco? My brother David. Yeah, I see and Big Man Sam. Funny thing is, Lakers looking better than the sorry Clippers.
They are, and I'm gonna tell you something. If the Lakers could, I would like for the Lakers to get somebody if they could by trade deadline. Because honestly, the way I look at the West right now, I think it's very I think it's attainable if the Lakers can take that 8th spot. I really believe they can do it. If they found another piece to go along with that team, I think they can take that 8th spot. I think that 8th spot is up for grabs.
Nah, it definitely is. It's definitely up for grabs.
Because I don't trust any of those teams in the 8th spot. Utah. Honestly, I don't even trust Portland. I don't trust Memphis. Like Memphis is like a wreck right now.
Yeah, the coach just got fired, last week?
Yep.
That's definitely true, man. But yeah, let's all wrap it up a little bit, man. You have any last shout outs anywhere where people can find you at?
Oh yeah, you guys can find me on Twitter at DJ Gonzo Star. Man, just shout out to Crazy Girl Man in the chat, Trill OG, Nathan Taker, Big Man Sam, NY Croatian Boys, Crow, man. Just shout out to all of them for showing up in the chat.
Definitely, man. Definitely appreciate, man, every week, man. Gonzo, man, you showing up. I talked to Spaz. Spaz gonna be able to make it next week, and Venom. So we're gonna try to make this. You know how we had the show for the Blog Talk Radio 6 o'clock p.m. We're gonna try to make it to 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock. We're just gonna figure out what time is best for everybody to be on the show every Monday nights. But definitely follow me on Twitter so y'all can see that, or follow Gonzo. But my Twitter is NYCDaFuture. And shout out to everybody, man, in the chat, man. Trill OG, what's up, bro? You know, we be on Twitch all day. NY Creation, bro. It's goody. Who else? Let me go up the line. Yeah, I'm definitely excited, man. Crazy Girl, 84. Nathan Taker. Who else is there? Lil Spaz 57 in the chat. Who else is there? Ray 2K, what up? White effing Day King of the Couch. Who else is there? Infinite Wisdom. Yeah, he said that he's been watching our show for a while now. Wow. Yeah, shout out to you, man. Who else is there? And KAT Gaming. But yeah, like I said, we're gonna be on here next week, next Monday, either 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern or 9 o'clock, either or. Subscribe to the channel and follow all of my co-hosts and myself. All right, guys. So till next week. Early.
Hello. Yeah, you got.